my God, it's warm. Oh my goodness. So full of flavor. So good. Perfect.
What's for dinner?
Hey everyone, I'm Chef Zee and welcome back to another episode of Chef Zee Cooks, where today we're going to be making a classic and delicious chicken and rice soup. I don't know about you guys, but here in New York, we are in the dead of winter. You go outside and that wind chill just hits you right in the face. So I have been craving some warm and comforting dishes, and this chicken and rice soup is absolutely up there. Now keep in mind that I have shared so many soups and stews recipe here on my channel. I'll link them down below because I'm sure you'll find one of your favorites. Now this soup is super hearty, so filling, and throughout the recipes, I'll definitely be sharing some substitutions in case you want to add even more vegetables and make it even more hearty. Now without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This chicken and rice soup recipe is actually one of my favorites because the soup is very, very flavorful, and believe it or not, it's actually very filling. Now, one of my favorite things about making this recipe is the fact that it has so many fresh ingredients. So we're going to kick things off by dicing up our white onion. Now hear me out, you can also use a sweet onion, you can use half an onion or a whole onion. I just love how much flavor it actually adds to the whole entire soup. Now, if you're a little bit weird about onions and you're not crazy about them, don't worry because they're going to completely disappear into the soup. We're now going to take some fresh celery and we're going to dice it up into medium pieces. And all I really do is run my knife down the center of it, and then I slice it in half, and then I dice those celery up. Now, if you're one of the lucky ones and your celery comes with the leaves attached, hear me out. You want to leave them intact because that actually has so much flavor. Now, when it comes to carrots in this recipe, you can add as much or as little as you want. Now, fun fact, I actually like to cut some of my carrots big and some of them small because I really love carrots in my soup. Of course, we're going to add some garlic. You guys know I absolutely love garlic. We're actually going to add the garlic early on in the recipe, so it's going to dull down the flavor. We're now going to season the chicken breast with salt and black pepper. You guys know I love using kosher salt. Now, I actually like to leave the chicken breast whole whenever I make this recipe because that's going to allow them to really remain nice and juicy and they won't overcook. In a big stock pot or soup pot or a Dutch oven, we're going to add just a tiny bit of olive oil and we're going to brown the chicken on both sides. Now, we are simply browning the chicken, so we're going to leave it interrupted for about 2 minutes on each side. Now, you want to be really careful because the chicken is raw, so you definitely don't want to taste it unless you want to get super sick. So after about 5 to 7 minutes, we're going to take the chicken out. And as you can see, because we browned the chicken, it already started to leave some flavor behind. And I absolutely love that because that helps add some color to the soup as well. I then added about 2 tablespoons of salted butter, and yes, you can use unsalted butter as well. We're now going to add all of our fresh veggies with the exception of the garlic, and we're going to saute them with a little bit of kosher salt to help them sweat. We're going to saute them for about 5 minutes until they become nice and translucent. They're not really going to get soft with the exception of the onions. And this is when you now want to start to add the garlic. I like to let the other veggies get going because I don't want to overcook the garlic, or worse yet, I actually don't even want to burn the veggies because then that's going to give it a bitter and dark color to the soup. I now added some fresh thyme. I'm going to add the chicken back into the soup, and I absolutely love how this looks. Afterwards, we're going to add some free-range organic chicken stock, and you want to make sure to keep extra chicken stock on hand. I also like to dilute it with a little bit of water. Now, don't be afraid of having extra water and extra chicken stock on hand because as this cooks, the water is going to reduce. So you just want to go ahead and add more liquid depending on how many people you plan on actually feeding. And after about 25 to 30 minutes, that chicken should be cooked all the way through. So you want to take the chicken out, set it off to the side, and now we're going to add 1/3 cup of rice. Now you can add more rice, but keep in mind that rice has a tendency to grow and it can very easily take over the soup. So I find that 1/3 cup of white long grain rice is absolutely perfect. So while the rice is cooking and softening in the soup, we're gonna go ahead and shred our chicken. And fun fact, you can actually add extra chicken breast because the shredded chicken actually makes a great meal prep. So you can save some shredded chicken off to the side if you wanna use it for other meals. So once you've shredded the chicken and once that rice is nice and soft and tender, at the very end, one of the last things that we wanna do is actually add the shredded chicken back into the soup. If you add it too early, the chicken can get a little bit tough and the texture gets a little bit weird, which is why you want to add the chicken at the very end. Now I want to add some more vibrant flavors, so same thing at the very end. I like to just add some chopped parsley into the soup, and let me tell you guys something, this is seriously a game changer. So I give it one last mix and then I go ahead and I serve myself a nice hearty bowl. Now you can definitely eat this soup with a variety of different things. You can squeeze some fresh lime at the end. You can add some more fresh herbs at the end. You can even enjoy it with some nice toasted French baguette, which is something that I seriously love to do. For the full recipe, visit my website, chefzeecooks.com. And until next week, I'm Chef Zee y buen provecho. So there you guys have it, just like that. This soup comes together in absolutely no time. It is so delicious. It is the perfect weeknight meal. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. You guys know the drill. Subscribe to my channel, click that bell so that you're notified. And if you need some more inspiration on what to cook next, go ahead and click right over there. This bowl is warm, which means that I have to dig in. Oh my goodness. So full of flavor. So good. Perfect.